go. Hello everyone, it's Katie, and for today's video I'm going to be doing a stretching routine for you guys. So I'm going to be working my way from my head through to my feet and showing you guys some stretches for each part of my body. So let's go! Before we start, I'm also going to be doing voiceovers because as you can tell it's really windy today.
Yep.
So I'll be talking over the clip. The first lot of stretches I have are neck stretches. Now these are pretty self-explanatory and are pretty easy to copy, you just do what I did here. I would recommend holding each stretch for about 20 seconds. The next stretches are shoulder stretches. Here I'm just like rolling my shoulders backwards and forwards. These stretches are obviously quite easy. Now this one I'm trying to explain that your hands need to be touching and your pinky fingers need to be as close together. But my shoulder flexibility is so bad that this doesn't happen. So you then just have to slide your hands back as far as you can, and clearly this was very painful for me. Next is arm stretches. Here I am doing circles with my arms backwards and then I do them forwards. I'd normally do like 10 backwards and then 10 forwards. And then this next stretch is where you take one arm across and you have to make sure that your other hand is after your elbow joint rather than before your elbow joint, because otherwise that doesn't stretch it. You then do the other side. And then the final stretch that I have for your arms is you put one hand behind your head, place the other hand on your shoulder and pull it towards your head, which stretches your arm. Next are wrist stretches. So the first stretch is where you clasp your hands together like you're holding someone's hand and you circle them round one way and then you circle them round the other way. I would recommend doing 10 to 20, and this one is my favourite, as you can tell by my face. These are waves, so it's just where you make waves with your hands and then do it the other way. And then also you can go onto your hands and knees and do stretches by making your hands face different ways. This stretch is the best stretch for stretching your wrists, this one here, but you can make your hands face different ways and it's good for your wrists. The next stretch is the back stretches. Like my shoulders, my back is very unflexible. So this is seal stretch. You want to look backwards to stretch your back. And then next is bridge. When you do your bridge, you want your hands and feet close together, which mine don't go very close together. And you can also do bridge rocks, which is what I'm doing here. Now when I used to do gymnastics, after bridge we used to do this thing called rock and roll, which is this. And this is good to just stretch out your back the other way. Leg stretches. So let's start with pike fold. Now what I'm about to say to you guys here is what you don't want to do is bend your legs, because that's not stretching. You want to keep them as straight as possible. But I tried to explain it without talking, which didn't really work. Next is straddle. When you do your straddle, you want to make sure that your knees are on top and that your knees don't roll in, because that's not good for your joints. So you can reach over to one foot and then turn around and get your stomach down onto your foot. Do that the other way and then do a stretch forwards as best as you can. These next stretches are basically like straddle but standing up with your legs apart, so you can go to one side, in the middle and then the other side, and you can also reach through. You've got to try and keep your legs straight. Next stretches are split stretches. I just showed you one side because they're the same on the other. You want to make sure in this stretch that your knee does not go over your toes. You want to keep it in line with your ankle, and you want to have your back leg straight. You then want to reach backwards and keep your front leg straight and try and get your nose to your knee as best as possible. And the final stretch stretches your quadricep, and you grab your foot and pull it in as close to your bottom as you possibly can. You can then slide down into your splits, and you want to make sure that your back leg stays tucked under, which is what I was checking just then. The final stretches are ankle stretches, so I normally will just roll my ankles round in one direction and then the other direction until they feel warm. In this stretch, it stretches your Achilles and your ankle. The leg that's straight is the one that's being stretched. And the final stretch is this one, I'm not sure what it's called, but it stretches out your toes. Thank you guys for watching my video today. I hope you liked it, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel below. And I'll see you guys next Sunday with another video. Bye!